Now, as it is a brand new year, 2017, it is time for us to finally talk about our experiment from 2016, which was our 10 by 10. And if you're not familiar, this is something that is fairly common these days in the board game hobby, where people make lists of 10 games and the goal is to play each one 10 times. It's sort of a way to make yourself play games that you don't play as often as you'd like to for whatever reason. And in our endeavor, we chose games that we liked and that didn't come out that often. I don't think there was much connecting them other than that. There were a fair number of
there was one other, because I remember when we were making this list, you're like, it doesn't fit this. They had to be usually on the bigger side.
Most of them are. I don't know. Did we actually specify that?
No, I remember because I was like, what about this? You're like, yeah, but that's like a Hanabi. You can play that in like 2 minutes. That'll be too easy.
Too easy. Well, the results are in. We did keep track. We're looking at a big whiteboard. Maybe I'll take a picture and put it up behind us. You'll have to try and read the handwriting. But you'll see that we ultimately failed
very hard. If this is a test, we didn't even hit the pass mark.
So why don't you want to just go over them one at a time and just discuss how we failed. So Cosmic Encounter, we played once. And I remember the time we played it too. And that's a shame. That's one of my favorite
All these are
games.
the shames.
But yeah, that's true. They're all a shame. But that's too bad. That's too bad. Especially because that one we have so many expansion aliens we've yet to try. Next, Cthulhu Wars tied for number 1.
Yeah, it's just like every time I'm like, maybe we have this hit the... Actually, I have a reason why a lot of these are low, and I think but it's like, maybe I'll have this hit the table. No, we got to do this first or this, but...
It's also, I mean, we also have games that we need to play for reviews or to talk about it on the show, or we're just busy.
People are like, I don't want to play a big game, like by the time that...
Yeah,
I'm like, really?
Yeah, we'll talk more about the overalls, right. I guess. I don't know. Now, Space Alert, 5 plays. Now, that's pretty good, but I mean, then you can remember.
That's a time, 30-minute, and also...
we played like 3 of them in one day. Oh, and one of them, and for a playback also we did that, so that sort of was a cheat. But I still feel okay about that. We probably could have made 10 on that easily if we just literally another 2-hour session would give us 5 more games.
Next up, back to 1, Dead of Winter.
I don't even remember playing that in 2016.
I think that one time was the one where you tricked me out.
That was the last time. Well, that's a shame. And the expansion we got for that, too, that's part of the reason it was on
We haven't
here,
even touched that.
Haven't touched the Long Night yet, so that's... Well, part of that, honestly, for me, too, is because they haven't added those cards to the app yet. And I really like playing with the apps, and I don't want to put that app away.
Actually, was one of the things I screwed up with Cthulhu Wars. I thought because I backed the Kickstarter for new stuff, I thought it was going to come in this year because I'm an idiot.
Oh.
So I'm like, that was also part of like, I don't need to take this off the shelf yet.
Oh, yeah, that's.
And then when I realized it didn't, I'm like, I should have this hit the table. But then,
Yeah. So next, Mage Knight. You played.
I did.
A solo round of 1.
Actually.
Well, thank God you did, because you put it on the board.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I did a solo to relearn the rules. I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I even got an insert for it too, and then we're like, let's play Mage Knight. It'll take too long. And like every time, I feel like, we say that way too much.
Yeah.
You know what? I think every game night now, the people, because it's not us. We know the people who always say that. We're forcing them to have like 4 monsters in a row, or like a 5-hour energy shot.
Oh, I thought you meant monsters in a game of some
No.
kind.
I meant
You
like,
mean the drink?
Yeah, we're pure caffeine. We're making sure they don't get to sleep till 5 in the morning.
I'm with you. We'll spike their food without them knowing. Now,
we will not name them, but you know who you are.
Next, we have Robinson Crusoe, which we played 8 games. 8 games.
Because we counted each session in the story.
Those are separate scenarios. They're separate games. The same way if you played the Cannibal Island and the King Kong, those would be 2 different games. A lot of these were in our Voyage of the Beagle expansion experience. That's what we're referring to, which is a campaign. But 8 is, it's good. Even without those 5 or 6, that's 2 or 3 outside of the expansion, so still good. Versus, we played 4 times.
Yeah, I want to change that. I played 4 times, you played once.
Sure. Hey, it's not a competition.
Because I did those 3 all at the same time with my brother Matt and Mark, in which you sat and just played with each different deck and tried it out. I even bought my own verses afterwards and actually made a custom deck. I'm like, okay, I'll be able to play Jonathan. And we never did anything.
We should. Yeah, we really should. Secrets of the Lost Tomb 3 are in there. Is
There's
one of those
technically,
a solo?
that's what you can't see that. It's supposed to be Mark.
4.
I did, that was a solo. I actually did
Okay.
one solo of it, but it was one we already played, so not much to bring up there.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we could do better, but it is.
That's a
pretty
big
good. Yeah,
game. So
it
that's
is.
kind of a heavier one. So even though it never seems as heavy as it is in my head.
Well, that's because I feel it's heavy in terms of quality, but it's never like, except for that last game we played on the stream where I just got my butt kicked. But like it's usually we are able to handle it really nicely.
Right. No, well, I think it's because it's like Betrayal, sort of. So I always think like, oh, it's like Betrayal, it's easy, and then it takes like 3 hours, so it's not.
But I also feel like when we've played it, it doesn't feel like some of the other games where we're like, is this over yet? Like
Sure.
And unlike
Heavy
Betrayal,
doesn't mean bad.
as
It's
Betrayal
just heavy.
and Betrayal, I don't feel like at least yet you haven't had that feeling where you're like, really?
Well,
Like when
that's
the snare-
that's
because the
that's a
traitor
whole
mechanic,
other.
but-
Just that base
Yeah.
thing is what I meant. So Rattle Battle Grab the Loot we only played once. That was our second to last.
And you got the expansion.
And I did get the expansion, and that's another expansion we have yet to try. Boy, it's real depressing. Finally, our big winner, though, for the year, Dungeons and Dragons, which we did hit the 10 mark on successfully. So we can be a little bit proud of that, I think, which is good.
Especially after how we've been trying to get D&D together this year, or more recently. So
Yeah. Well, we're off to an okay start for 2017. We'll see if that continues from there. So overall, at least we did get every game to the table once, although Mage Knight by this much because it was you. So that's something. There weren't any total failures.
Honestly, not only do we bite off more than we can chew, I feel like this works really well if you have, one, a dedicated group that's willing to play all these games.
Yeah, that helps. That helps.
2, these are like, you're not trying to play whatever the newest thing every single goddamn time,
Yeah.
which we are.
Well, here's my thing: is even though I feel we dropped the ball for the most part on this, I still kind of think I would rather fail at an ambitious list than say, oh great, we played Love Letter 10 times, good job. Oh, we played Hanabi 10 times.
I'm
good
saying
job.
that's exactly what you said. And I'm not.
And I still feel that way.
My problem is, it's not even like that. I'm saying, like, is it even worthwhile sometimes to do this if you? Because I already feel guilty not playing some of my games, and ones that even aren't on the list.
Well, that's what I'm gonna say. Two things. Number one, I like in general having a list of games that like, yeah, we should play these more and thinking about it. I think it's good to at least just push yourself to that. Number two, I don't think we should do another one.
Well, no, I don't think we should. But I think the way we need to do ours more is less of a 10 by 10 and more of a hit as many as we can. Like, I feel there's a lot on both of our shelves, and that's not including Neil and Garrett, who I'd say really are the other 2 big contributors in terms of our group board game collection that we need to hit. We've played like 3 of the games that are currently on the shelf. Granted, I think I got a lot of the ones on the shelves within the last week.
Yeah. We need to try harder. We need to do a little bit better. But it's hard when we shouldn't be buying new board games, but it's our job. So it's a tough thing, and then there's so many weeks when you just can't meet that week, and
Or someone gets sick.
right, or nobody wants to it's tough to bring out a lot of these like Dead of Winter, Mage Knight, even Robinson Crusoe.
Well, I wasn't
It's
joking
tough.
with it. I feel like a good if we were to take everyone who I'd say is a regular contributor to our group, half of them are done by 8.
Yeah. They're gone. And sometimes I'm among them. So,
No, I mean, you can
Yeah.
bet on it. I mean, you might be occasionally, but that's usually because we played one of these big games beforehand.
But it is tough when after it's hard when board games start to feel like work because I think, and that's where I don't know, a lot of people probably won't relate to us where you unwind, but sometimes, especially with like the heavy strategic ones, sometimes I'm like, it's been a long week. I just want to take a nap, and Dead of Winter is tough. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like,
that
but at
in
the same
me.
time, for me, I feel like I just don't feel like we hit the big ones in general enough.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm just saying.
Like, I feel like so many game nights, I feel
It's
let
hard.
down.
I think we need
like,
to-
I want to have more days where we just like focus on games for 20, like playing them and stuff.
I think we need to try to culminate a more pleasant, calming atmosphere that encourages the play of these games, and maybe amongst our own group interactions as well. Just keep things mellow. You know what also helps, I find, is that we won't do is having new players in the group, because I feel like when you have new people around, at least for me, people are less likely to be like, how do we always play that? I'm tired of that. I feel like there's more of a chance to be like, oh, does this look cool to you? Sure, and people will be less aggressive because they're new. And I feel like when our group is just we know each other so well and been playing for so long that it's just like
the one issue also with new people though is for picking up a game. It's like, oh, I have to explain the game.
well, you got to teach it. But to be fair, we have to do that with almost every game we
That's
play
true,
anyway.
with our group.
Even when we've played it 3 times before, people forget the rules. Now, if you've done 10 by 10s, we'd love to hear your results.
And how you were so much more successful.
Hopefully you were. We kind of failed, but it was a good experiment. It gave us something to talk about at least. And maybe we'll do one this year if anyone really wants us to, but I'm guessing no one cares, neither do we.